Hi guys, it's Meg. Thank you so much for being here. So I actually don't have a lot of time. I know I say that a lot, but I really don't because I don't have a lot of battery left. But I was warming up the plate and forgot to plug this in, unfortunately, but it's really late and I need to get to bed. So I thought I would just bring you along for the end of this session on the jelly plate and show you a few of the techniques at least that we talked about in the last video. If you didn't see that video, it was quite long. I tried to pack as much as I could in it about information about the jelly plate. It was kind of hard watching it back because I fumbled a whole lot in that video, so if you did watch it, thank you so much for bearing with me. I can't promise you anything better in this video, but we are going to try to pull some beautiful prints. I just did a few here, just warming it up. Look at that. We're going to do the technique with the Patti pockets that I learned from, in our sprays, that I learned from Miss ROBYN McClendon. And if I'm talking quiet, my kids are sleeping, so hopefully you can hear me okay. But this is the matte paint that we're going to use that technique over in just a moment. And yeah, I just warmed up the plate, did some fun stuff, and we won't go through all of these. I just wanted to show you, you know, usually at the beginning I get a lot of wacky stuff because I'm really trying to warm it up. I have to tell you one thing though. So this is my new brayer, if you saw in the last video, and it's a really soft rubber from a Ranger. I've been using the smaller size for quite a while and I really love this one. I've used it for over a year, no problems. This one, you guys, I had high hopes. I started using it. It works beautifully. It spreads the paint fantastic. However, I'm not hard on my brayers. I don't bang them or anything. And it fell apart 4 times already. The metal part came out, just fell apart in the middle of a beautiful print. Really pissed me off. I put it back together 3 or 4 times now. I put it back as hard as I could, and I've been trying to do it gentle. The last time it fell apart, I was using it so gently, and it just, the metal piece came out and it just plopped off. So I don't know, has anybody ever used this one? And I don't know, but I'm definitely have to go get that speedball one now because this really just irked me. It was working beautifully, but let's get into this. As you can see, I have yumminess on my plate. I'm going to pull this print. So this is several layers. I just did, oh, where is it? Let me show you. Oh, I have papers everywhere, so maybe I can't find it. It's drying somewhere. I just don't know where. But I did the stencil, this mask rather. This is the mask. And I pulled that up. Now this is drying, so when you pull up some your paint or your print, that's your first print. Then you have something left on the plate that's going to be your second print or your ghost print or however you want to say it. So when you let that dry in the plate, you have this beautiful image here in our case. It dries, you're going to put a wet paint on top of it, and while it's still wet, you're going to lift it, and all of this yumminess is going to come off of the plate with that wet paint, okay? So this is a really fun technique to do, and I'm debating on what colors to use. I like this red, and I used a red, and I actually used my liquid paints here, my inks, Amsterdam acrylic inks, and I used these 2 beautiful colors together in the background, and they made this gorgeous purpley color, and then I used my gold on top. It's actually a copper gold by Arteza that I love, and I'm trying to figure out what to pull with it. I do have a color scheme. I know I'm talking a lot that I'm inspired by, and that's because I will be using these in my journal that I'm working on, my art journal, and so these are the colors that have really just inspired me, and I've been looking at this for inspiration for pulling colors, and that's a really good thing to bring up. You can totally look on Pinterest, look around your room, look at the things that you're working with, and pull up inspiration for color, like what colors to use together, what looks good. In the beginning, this racked my brain, and a lot of times I just gave up because I really am OCD about a few things, and this was one of them, picking colors. But this has just inspired me. Now I just get inspired. I don't let it rack my brain. I don't let it bother me. If I can't choose, I just pick a couple out of nowhere. But I kind of been doing it enough to know what I like and what my style is, or what I like together. And I'm looking at the bottom of her dress here, or her what is this called again? Oh my gosh, it's at the tip of my tongue, and I'm sure you guys are yelling it at me. Her kimono. Gosh, I couldn't think of what that was called. Her kimono, it's just beautiful, and these colors just are reminding me. I know they're not the exact same, but they are reminding me of this, and I'm just like, well, what color should I use? And I think a sage color would look nice with this. It'll really make it pop, or I could go on the other end and use like a black or a brown. So, what should I do? What should I do? You know, I think I'm going to go for, let's do black. I mean, yeah, that was totally opposite of what I started saying, and I think I might just do black. Let's do that, and then we can have some black on our plate. So I'm going to grab this Mars Black from Artiza, and then I'm going to, I don't know if I'm saying it right, Artiza, you say tomato, I say tomato, I don't know. But I'm going to pull this on either a book page, or no, I'll just use a white piece. This is the Hammermill 28-pound color copy paper. Love it for this stuff. Talked about it in the first video too. So I'm just starting to get to use more paint. A lot of times I don't use enough. So I don't know why, because in the beginning I was using so much and it kept ruining my prints. So now I try to make sure it's enough. It's a learning curve, not a big one. It's not, you know, a do or die. You can do more prints than one to get it all off. You'll figure it out. You'll just feel it. And I like to lift. You see how I'm lifting? It sounds like I'm pouncing. That's what I'm doing. And that's how you're going to spread it evenly. Okay? And I'm spreading it more than I need to. I'm just trying to show you that, you know, you want to lift your brush while you're printing. And I'm going to do it on an angle because that's how my stencil is. And then I'm going to cover it with, uh-oh, I forgot a piece of my wax paper. What happened to it, of course? Oh boy. I'm going to get a new piece of deli paper, I guess. And then I'm going to rub that. So I hope you guys are doing good. How is everybody doing? And what are you guys working on? I always ask you that, but I really am interested. I'm not just asking, you know, just to ask. I hope, oh, I'm wiggling the camera. Sorry. Yeah, that's the thing. I got this newer stand or camera holder, and it just, it's very sensitive. So all the wiggles, you're going to feel them. Wow, that's crazy. That is awesome. Holy cow. I mean, that's kind of wacky, but it's cool. You can see that leaf in there. Wow. It's really different. And I love how, you know, that pops off, that gold pops off. And I could just cut, I would just use this as like, you know, cut all this away and just use this in a collage. Oh, that's nice. I also just did a really rad thing that I want to do again. So let me show you. Oh, here. Sorry, I just have so many papers around. There's only so much space. That's what it looked like when I had the stencil on it, the mask. I laid it down and then put paint over it. And then there was all that yummy goodness under there. So that was the first pull. And then one more. I did these too. This one. And I just glazed it. This is a bunch of layers. I did a few pulls, 3 pulls, and then I glazed it with some gold. And I'll show you how to glaze. So and then this is on black tissue, and I'm loving this. Loving those sparkly colors on black tissue. First time for me using black tissue, and I'm going to have to get some of that. It came in a gift, so I'm almost out. Look at this. Now, does that not look like I just took some inspiration from this? Like, oh, I'm loving every moment of this. Oops. So I am going to really work on my inner Japanese out and try to anyways, my inner Asian girl, because I'm just obsessed with the culture and I'm learning as much as I can about it. It's just so interesting. I've always been attracted to, you know, the Far East. I love the art. I love the calligraphy, and I'm really loving these colors. So I'm thinking I'm going to pull in some of that, maybe my Quinacridone nickel azo gold, and then some of these green colors, so maybe some sage and some red. So let's do that. So I'm going to get this. I got a little left in here. I just opened a new bottle. Let's use that. I'm going to pull in, this is my favorite golden fluid acrylic. Now there's all this yumminess on the page that's going to come through, so I do want it to kind of go with. So maybe I'll do that. Some sage. This is matte acrylic Italian sage. We're going to do that, and then maybe some red. What kind of red? I usually only do like 1 or 2 colors. I used to do a whole bunch at once, and I wasn't really loving it, so I might just, because this is a thicker paint, I don't know, maybe I'll do this. I think I'm going to switch this out for this. This is the speckled egg, one of Tim Holtz's newer colors. I think I'm going to try it with this nickel azo, see what happens, and then maybe some of this red iron oxide. It's going to be interesting. Look at that, isn't that beautiful, those colors? So that was another one. There's just so many. And sorry. Let me get this. Hold on. I just dropped it. Oh boy. Okay. So let's see. Pull these out. All right. Let's see what we get. If I can open them. These are very fluid, and I used a lot, so we'll see what happens. I've never used these colors together, so hopefully this thing doesn't break on me. Whew, I'm like scared to use it because it ruined my print last time. Okay. I might take some of that off just because it's a lot. And the Tim Holtz is thin, but not as thin as the fluid, and so it's not going to spread as much as you know, much as the fluid does. So I can already see it's kind of thick in some areas, and usually I would go this way and that way, but see how it does that? I was going to show you that it does a smearing effect that I don't necessarily want. Now I have, but I wanted to show you that. I knew it was going to happen, so. But if I let it sit because of that fluid, it's going to start wicking. So if you see, it's starting to open up. You'll see like little pores opening, and that's because of the fluid acrylic. It'll start wicking and making these beautiful marks. So I usually let it sit there and do that for just a second. Leave a couple of marks. I'll show you again on white paper. Or, you know what, let's just go right into using some of these lovely things. So I'm just pressing with my texture plate that I showed you guys in the first video, and I'm going to do my favorite, which is, wow, where are they? Oh boy, they must have fell back there. Oh, here's one. Okay, sorry, these are my nets that I love, so let me hurry up before this dries. I'm just going to roll this netting on in some areas, and then I always come in with a little bit of bubble wrap here. Oh, that's a little more than I wanted to. Here. So now I got all that beautiful texture on here. And now I'm going to go back for this side. Fold my sleeves. Rub this out. So I am hoping to get more, I was hoping to do a few videos a week, and that, for me, that's ambitious, going from none for a while to 3. But that's my goal, and I'm really all about doing me this year and doing what I set, you know, meeting my goals. I have to tell you guys, I am going to Arizona. That's what I was starting to say earlier. I'm going to visit my son. I'm staying at the Air Force Base with my son for 4 nights. That was my Christmas present. The most sweet. Oh my gosh. I cried so hard. I'm scared to travel, and I know a lot of people are going to give me heck about it with the COVID, but listen, my son just became a man. He's only been out of the house a couple years, and I have to go visit him, okay? So, if you're a mom, you understand. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. So, I'm going to visit him for a few nights. It's not long, but it's going to be amazing, and I've never been away from my little kids before, so oh my Lord. Would you look at that? This is what my dreams are made of. I don't know about you, but I could not have asked for a better print to show you guys. Like, literally, this is stunning. Stunning. I mean, maybe it's just me that feels that way. Can you see these gorgeous colors? Oh, so good. This is what my dreams are made of. And this is going to be so good in my journal. What a beautiful color palette. Okay, I gotta calm down. Let me get in, and since we kind of have a nice clear plate, I'm going to show you, because I want to make this a quick video. This is not the end of the jelly plate. We're going to do so much. I have so much more planned for this because I love it so much. But I want to show you that technique I bragged about so much. This is the technique with the Patti Pocket Stainz, which you can get on Etsy, and I'll leave a link. And this technique was made up by the great ROBYN McClendon, who I've talked about a lot in the last video. She's one of my just absolute heroes. And I say that like she doesn't know who I am. I said that before. I don't want to make it sound like we're friends or something. I'm just a massive fan of hers, and she's inspired me for a long time, and I'm just following along with her videos and doing work on my own that I'm not filming. And I was doing this the other night, and it just came out so amazing. So I have to show you because I have the products. So we're going to use some of these stains, spray stains, which are my favorite. You guys know, if you watch me, that I love these things. And we are going to use this Stainz by Patti Pockets, and we're going to print on top of our matte paper. Now I got to find where that went. Hold on. Sorry. I'm not very organized. Here we go. We'll just do one on this. So this is the matte acrylics. In order for this to work beautifully, I did try it with some other paints, and it does look good to me, but you know, like it's meant to go on matte. It does a different effect on the matte paint. So you're going to want some chalk paint or matte paint. This is chalk paint. Both of these are chalk paints that I used, and they are these. I had them for quite a while. The Artsy Ultra Chalk Soft Matte Paint. And I used this color in turquoise blue, and I used this sand and turquoise blue. Two beautiful colors. I let it dry, and I actually didn't use the roller. I tried out my squeegee that I showed in the other video, and I got those effects. So that's a different kind of effect you can get if you don't want to roll, or you don't have a brayer, or if you just want a different texture. So I used that. I let it dry. It was quite thick on there. So now it's all dried up, and we're ready to go. So basically, I'm just going to pick out what colors I want, and again, I want to go with this color palette that I'm doing these beautiful oranges and reds and turquoises and just all these beautiful colors. So I might pull in some of this fired brick. I'm going to pull in a color I've been really jiving lately, which is this brushed corduroy. I used to shy away from these colors, and I just love them now. I absolutely adore them. I have this frayed burlap, which I really love. Let me see. I'm going to show you all the ones I really love. There's black soot that I love. I'm not going to use all of these. Stormy Sky is gorgeous. And then my favorite of all my favorites is this pumice stone. Actually, I think I'm going to use the pumice stone. Oh, look at me. I'm shaking this around. I didn't know the lid was off, and it's pouring out everywhere. Holy cow. Well, you know, Meg, get it together. So let me grab a baby wipe. I'm sorry, guys. You know, this happens sometimes. I talk a lot with my hands. It's the Italian in me. Okay. Okay, so sorry about that. I'm going to wipe this off because I do not want a mess on my Patti pockets. And so sorry. Oh, it smells so good, like coffee when I open it. Yum. Makes me want some coffee right now. And since it's almost morning, I'm going to need some. I stayed up all night doing this. This is what happens when you work on the jelly plate. Before you know it, hours and hours go by. So let's do this. Sorry about that little interruption there. So I'm going to take a little paintbrush, just one that I don't use on paint really, just an extra brush, and I'm going to use quite a bit. Not tons, but I don't know, I just guess. The more you use, the more drastic it is. But I do have a smaller sheet of paper, so I think that's good. Put it in my lotus plant there, and I think I hear a baby waking up. And then I'm going to start using my sprays here. That was the brushed corduroy. I think I'm going to try to use some pumice stone. And then a dab of red. I don't know how this is going to look. It might not turn out good, but fired brick. You know what? Let's go darker. Let's go with this aged mahogany brownish red. Okay, now I'm going to use my brayer. I'm going to move it around. Ooh, I used a lot of that red, didn't I? Let me take some of that off. Okay, and then okay, just kind of get it how I want it because it's going to move around and you're going to get that beautiful wicking, and that's what makes these great effects. I'm just going to get that real quick on there and see what we got. I used a lot of the spray, a lot more of the sprays than I normally did, like on my other ones. Let me get some of this off of my brayer at the same time. Yeah, I used a ton of spray. It's all on there. Just want to get some of that off. Because I don't know if the Patti pockets, it dries pretty flat, but I don't know if it makes it sticky on your brayer. It didn't last time, but I'm just going to make sure. Okay. So let's pull that. Now I know this wasn't a really long session, but I just wanted to show you a few techniques. So we're going to do a couple more pulls and then I'm going to say goodbye. And next time we'll do a longer one that's, you know, where I show you even more. Let's see what we got. Oh, I'm nervous. Wow, that's crazy. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. And because I use so much red, you can't really see the stains. But I mean, isn't that crazy? It looks like an animal. That is so cool. And if you didn't see, that I did use a lot of liquid, as you can tell, but it's going to dry really cool. So yeah, just compare it to how subtle I did this one. This one is really subtle with the Patti pockets. And yeah, you can really see the stains on this one, whereas this one it's really mixed in with the spray. So I'm going to set this aside, and we're going to keep going for another minute or two here. Oops. Now, I kind of like what I see in here. I think this is one of, I showed you this in the last video. I pulled, this is a print. I didn't tell you who it was from. This is one of ROBYN McClendons' digital prints. And I'll leave her information below. I think I said that a couple times, but go check out her video, see where I'm pulling this inspiration from, see the technique I just showed you, how she does it. It's her technique, and definitely where I got it from, and her, she's definitely who has inspired me. She has a website, and she sells her digital prints on Teachable. Now, I love using these. I'm making journal. Excuse me, I'm stuttering. I'm making a journal for myself using these prints. You cannot sell her digitals or sell your work with her digitals in it. I don't think so. I'm keeping it separate from the journals that I'm going to make to sell that are these Asian themed. But anyways, I just wanted to throw that out there. But look how I just kissed it with that red. I'm going to show you glazing next, but I'm just going to see what this looks like. Adding a little more onto this paper, just to give it a little extra. Wow, I did use a lot. Oh, okay, so that's something I wasn't expecting. So it covered up a lot, you know, but when it dries, it's going to dry a lot lighter. It's different. Now, look at it in a different way. Instead of looking at it and going, okay, I messed up the print, right? Look at it like this. I'm going to take off this much, right? You know, just pretend you're going to cut this much off. Now, don't you see it in such a different light when you do that? You know, if you're planning on collaging, that is. Do you see that? It's just that much interest added to it, you know? Just look at it in little sections, and you'll appreciate your work more. So when you think you messed something up, or you overkilled it, or did something too much to it, think of it, I mean, this is telling a story to me. I'm seeing red spots on here. It might be a little bit of a dark story, but I'm thinking warrior, I'm thinking ancient, I'm thinking I can tell a story with this in my art journal that is going to be this Asian themed beauty. So at first I was like, oh gosh, it's overkill, but I actually really appreciate it and love it. I'm getting too poetic. I hope not. Am I getting too poetic? I get really passionate about it. I really do, because it just, I don't know, just really means a lot to me. Okay, stop talking and print a few more. Let's do some of this, whatever this is. And, well, I guess I should have picked a second color before I squirted that. Let's try some of this orange flash. Okay, what am I going to pull on? Guess I'll just grab another. You know what? Let me show you a white. Did I show you tissue? I don't know. Gosh, last two pulls I used so much paint. I never do that. It's usually the opposite. I usually never do enough. I can already see it's puddling up. So if you use too much paint, it will be like a circle. I can see the circle forming because it's thick right there and it's thin over here. So I don't like how these mixed already. See? Look what just happened. It just fell apart. You see how frustrating that is? And I just bought this. This is my first session with it. You should be able to pounce your roller without, or your brayer without it falling apart like that. That's crazy. So, come on. That is so frustrating. So I pounced this one like crazy. Never happened. Same with this one. I am very frustrated with that. Gosh, now you guys see what I'm dealing with over here? Okay, let me show you one of these guys. These are the tools that you use for, I'm so mad about that, that you use for, oh my gosh, what am I trying to say? Sculpting clay. So I like to use them in here, and I don't know, this looks really poopy to me, so I might just try to pull it. I think I'm going to pull some. Let's see. I don't know. Let's just make some marks first. And I just leave it wet on here. I don't care. It's not a big deal to me. Alright, I'm going to use those, and then I'm going to come in and grab my punchella. Oh, and my brayer doesn't work. Hello. Do this. So you just kind of roll it. If you're using this punchella or whatever it's called, punchinella, I always forget. And you just kind of roll it on like that. It leaves those beautiful marks. Some here. Try to break up that circle of paint that I laid on too thick. Okay. Now I'm going to let's get something different. I do have wallpaper, so I'm going to try that. And then on this side, I'm just going to use a regular piece here. I'm so mad about my brayer. I just can't believe it. Like, I usually love Ranger stuff, and I've never had that happen. Okay. And what's frustrating is I just got it, and so I don't think I can take it back. It's all full of paint. I don't know if Amazon will return it like that, but shouldn't have to spend almost $12 on something and it fall apart the first time you use it. It wasn't like I was banging it super hard or anything. That's wild. Okay. Okay. Really want to get that in there. Let's see how this poopy print came out. Let's see if it's good. Well, actually, it's kind of interesting. Wow. I like that. I don't know how the lighting is. Hopefully it's good. I actually kind of like that. Oh, interesting. You can see all that texture. It's just really earthy, which I love earthy. Really interesting. So we're at a half an hour. I feel like I barely did anything, but at least I showed you guys a couple things. Was there anything else? I really just cannot get over this print right here. And this one that we did. Those are two gorgeous prints. And do you see how this is drying? It's really cool. It just keeps shifting and changing. And it's going to be stunning when it's dry. But this one, I mean, these colors. This is everything I've been wanting to print all night. So I was happy that it happened on camera. I hope that this inspired you. And you know what? Just for the heck of it, let's do one more as we leave. And then we really will say goodbye. Because I feel like we didn't do very much. So let's just, for the heck of it, do another one. Let's print on something pretty. Let's do... Sorry. If I can grab it. Wow. I could not get this out, you guys. I'm so sorry. So we're going to pull on, this is the Daiso calligraphy, Japanese calligraphy paper. So let's print on this, and we're going to try to do a nice big print. So I'll try to use a lot of paint. And as you can tell, there's actually a lot on here still, and I don't want it too two-tone. So I'm going to take this little scrap right here that I had. This is one I've been kind of pulling different prints from. It's wallpaper. See if I can get some more of this off. I want to get rid of that line. Yeah, just a little bit. It's okay to have some on. I just didn't want that super distinct separation on the plate. So I still have it, but that's okay. It's better. It's better than it was. Okay. Yeah, it's dry. Okay, so I really love this color scheme that I've been going with. I kind of want to stick to it, and I'm trying to think of what can I get with all those beautiful colors that I've been trying to use. So I really like the Quinacridone crimsons, really beautiful. The red and the teal together, I'm really into that. But this orange red was really nice too. Oh, I don't know. What am I going to do? And I think I want to use a brown. You know what? Let's get out a color. Sorry if this is what happens, but I want to show you some of these paints. I want to showcase another paint. So there's a Sangria Red I love, and Pearl Marmalade's great. Let's check these colors out real quick. Pearl Marmalade, ooh, beautiful. I love this one. Sangria Red is beautiful, but it's not what I'm looking for. So I think I'm going to use the Pearl Marmalade. Maybe this later orangey, brilliant red. Or the Scarlet Red. Sorry, I just want to pick out the right colors and take you through my process. So this is how I do it. So then I also like this brown. I'm just trying to find it. And then we'll go with that. So burnt sienna is not it. These are all the paints you get in that Arteza 60-pack. It's just endless. Mars Brown is really nice. But as you can tell, it does kind of, you know, it's hard to decide sometimes. Pearl Deep Brown, there it is. I've been really into these pearl colors. I'm looking for a sage. The Arteza Sage is different than the one I have over here, but okay, let's just go with that. Alright. Sorry. Everything's falling. Okay, so we're gonna go with I picked out like 100 things. I just can't decide. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go for this first. I just don't know. Okay, no, I'm gonna go for this. It's so hard to decide for me. It just, when I'm on film. Otherwise, I was really rolling when I wasn't filming. I was just going for it. It didn't really matter. Scarlet red is nice and orange. It's gonna be weird. And this brown. Here we go. Oh, where's my other brayer? So this is a harder roller one, and I was just getting used to that nice soft rubber one, but this is my trusty roller that been working for me all this time, so I'm going to use it. And see, it still spreads. It doesn't spread as nicely as a soft roller. And now that I've tried the bigger soft roller, I can say that it's true. It really does spread out very evenly quicker than the hard roller does. Brayer, whatever. This is going to be one layer, and then I'm going to print on top of it. So I'm not trying to get a perfect, you know, it's going to be added. I'm going to add to it. Oh my gosh, did I really lose it? Okay. Let's print on this. Start up here. Ah. And then this is our last one. I'm actually going to show you one of those stencils on top of it for our top layer, and then we'll say goodbye. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to let that sit for a second while I find the stencil. And I'm going to clean this place up so the next video we are, you know, not waiting on me to find stuff. This is the one I want to try. This is Ribbon Candy, I think it's called, or something like that. From Elizabeth St. Hilaire, who also has amazing videos on jelly printing. And she sells these wonderful stencils for us to enjoy at Joggles. Ooh, look at that paint lifting the paper. Whoa. Probably left it on there too long. Should have pulled it. Yeah, see, my paper's all stuck, but that's okay. I'll get it off. Ooh, that's nice. Now I don't know if I want to print on top of this one because it's peeling off. I left it on top of the plate too long. I should have just put it down and lifted it. But it is pretty. The colors together are really nice. Where are we at? 38. Okay. I'm scared to print on top of this one because I think it'll pull off. So we're going to do one more. Just one more. Okay, we're going to do the scarlet red. And let's do the strawberry. Yes, that's what I'm going for. Oh, I gotta remember, the scarlet red is giving me that orange, beautiful. I love that orangey red with gold. It just really does it for me. And again, I didn't use enough paint. I should have used more, but I'm gonna go for it. Put this down like that. I'm gonna get a piece of this. I'll print on the shiny side. Maybe that'll help it. I don't know. I printed on this side. It feels different on each side, so let's see what we have. Really rubbing in those creases there, and I don't want to leave it on too long because we just saw what happened when I did that. So that's good right there. I think that'll be perfect. I'm going to lift that. And remember, you lift it. This is your first print. Look how gorgeous that is. Look at that. The gold and the red just marry each other so brilliantly. I love this. And then you get another print. So you lift this off, and now you have this gorgeous print that's on the plate. Now when you do that, you're going to want to let this dry. It's probably already, see, it's not dry yet. You're going to want to let it dry, and that's how you're going to pull it up. Once it's dry, you put a layer of wet paint on there, whatever color you want. I think I'm going to go with black or a deep brown, and then we're going to pull it with that. Or gold, I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to go for one more of these. And I'm just going to fan it, trying to get it dry. And I'm looking, my brain's turning while I'm doing this. Maybe I'll do like a gray. Payne's gray might be pretty. Green, that might be Christmassy. Probably not green. Let's see. That pearl deep brown is beautiful. I think I might use that. So you can do something like a pearl. You just got to put enough on there. Or you can do like, you know, a white, or you can do this Titan buff. Or buff tits, as I always call it. I don't know why I always call it that. But no, this is good stuff. But since a lot of the background's showing, I want something kind of pretty, so I think I'm going to go with this brown. Or you know what? Let's try our Quinacridone. Yeah. Should we? Should we do it? Where did I put it? I just have to find it. Well, ain't nobody got time for that, so we'll just do this. Yeah, I definitely need to clean my space. I know, I don't want to hear it, because you would be exactly right. I definitely need to clean my space. So, no, that's too similar, so I'm going to go for, I think this one or black, but yeah, this one. Okay, here we go. I want to put enough on there. That's probably too much, but I want to put enough on there to cover this whole thing. Again, I'm still kind of pouncing, not hard, but just lifting it up every few few seconds just to kind of get it even. And then you can do, you know, top and then go back like this if you want. You don't, you know, just spread it out. And now you got to do this when it's still wet, so don't sit there rolling like I did too long, because if it dries, you're just going to get another layer and it won't pull the whole thing up. So that's how, if you want to do multiple layers and do it all in one pull, you just keep letting it dry. The next layer dry, and then the next layer dry, and then the next layer dry. And then when you want to pull it all up, you just pull it on the wet paint. So hopefully that makes sense. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. If you like this video, it was kind of off the cuff. I was like, maybe I shouldn't film, maybe I should, but I hope you join me for future videos and future jelly printing. If you like this video, please think about subscribing, or if you're already subscribed, your help with your thumbs up and your sharing, your comments, all of that good stuff really helps me out and really touches my heart at the same time, so I'm definitely appreciative. Thanks for visiting my little channel, and I hope that I was able to inspire you in some way to go make something beautiful. In upcoming videos, I'm going to show you what I use these prints for. So if you're interested in that, be on the lookout. We are going to make some beautiful collages and beautiful journals. So thank you so much. Have a blessed day. And any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments. I love answering questions, and I'm totally here for you if you want to chat. I have an email, Don't be shy. Have a great day, you guys. See you later.